I wanted to see what would happen if I took a balloon to the bottom of the ocean. So first I got my balloon, then I went to the bottom of the ocean. The pressure change caused by descending into the depths of the ocean has an extreme crushing effect on air in a container. The air in our lungs is compressed to half its size at 33 feet and a quarter of its size at 100 feet. It can be hard to see these changes from the outside, so I brought a latex balloon to demonstrate. The first experiment that I wanted to try was to see if I could inflate the balloon while it was attached to my snorkel. I wanted then to dive down and use it as an air reservoir so I could get a little extra air while I was at the bottom. So I affixed the balloon to the end of my snorkel, then I inflated it. When I tried to dive down, I realized that the balloon did not want to dive down with me. I was worried I was going to rupture the balloon by pulling on its neck too hard, so I had to give up. Not to mention that the air in the balloon was so buoyant, it was almost impossible for me to dive down. The next thing I wanted to try was to just get the balloon to the bottom. It's about 33 feet deep here, so the balloon will be reduced to half its size. I had to put my entire body on top of it to get it low enough, and the hardest part was getting my legs back into the water to start kicking. I was finally able to get my balance, and I managed to get the balloon down to the bottom. Now you can see the balloon growing in size as I return to the surface. My next idea was to bring it to the bottom and see if I could breathe from it. Breathing compressed air and then ascending is exactly how you get the bends. So this experiment could be very dangerous. However, I figured just one little puff of compressed air couldn't hurt that bad, right? However, when I tried to do it, the lips of the balloon were squeezing so tight that I couldn't get any air out. Maybe it's a good thing that I wasn't able to give myself decompression sickness. So far, all of my balloon experiments underwater have had boring results, but I know one thing for certain will be exciting. I inflated my balloon one last time and brought it down to the bottom, but this time, the inflated balloon won't be coming back up with me. As I brought the balloon down to meet its fate, I thought about in The Emperor's New Groove when the little squirrel pops the balloon with the cactus spine. The satisfaction of something extremely sharp popping a balloon. So I brought the balloon down to a sea urchin that looked particularly spiky. For a second, I thought there was a chance nothing would happen, and that the number of spines would have the same effect as laying on a bed of nails. But when the balloons made contact with the sea urchin, it finally exploded. Or I guess technically it imploded, and it even looked like the slow-mo shot of when someone pops a balloon full of water, but this time it was a balloon of air submerged in water, so kind of the opposite. If anyone out there has a high-speed camera with a water housing and wants to create this in super slow-mo, please let me know. And before anyone says anything stupid about me leaving the balloon in the ocean, I didn't. I fed it to a sea turtle to make sure that none of the balloon scraps were left behind.
That was cool. That was really cool.
Don't let the jokes about feeding the balloon to the turtle fool you. Obviously, I would never do that, and I still pick up trash every time I dive. Unfortunately, the videos of the trash pickup haven't been performing as well, so it's not something I can focus my time on anymore. Again, I'm just not making videos of the trash cleanup. I still always pick up trash on my dives. Anyways, let's get back to the underwater experiments. The fish in my local community have probably never eaten mango, and I wanted to change that. Our tree has given us an abundance of mangoes, so I don't mind to share. So first I got my mango, then I went to the fish in my local community. I didn't have a cutting tool, but luckily I was able to borrow one from my buddy Sean. I sliced off half of the mango and passed the tool and the rest of the fruit back to Sean. It's so satisfying when cutting a mango to cube it and then turn the skin inside out so the cubes pop out. The mango looked so yummy and it was hard for me to give it up to the fish, but I had to see how they would react. I put the mango on top of the structure and I wanted to set my camera down to see what the fish would do after I moved away. I honestly couldn't even set the camera down before the ravenous fish started to fiendishly eat the mango. The fish were going so crazy, but eventually the current took the mango over the edge. The fish continued to ravage the mango even while it tumbled into the turbulent water. I chased it into the depths and caught the mango only seconds before it almost fell into the suction tube where it would have been sucked off into oblivion. I wanted to give it to the fish again, so I tried to suction it down to the reef. The back of the mango was actually suction cup shaped and it kind of stuck, so I knew the fish would finally get a chance to eat it and I could see if they liked it or not. Oh brother, who is this? This girl came and stole my mango. What does this look like? The free mango store? You think mangoes just grow on trees? Well, my experiment is ruined. No, I do not want the mango back. You can have it. Okay, that's all the mangoes we fed to the fish. Bye.